Ron was in his office and he was sweating a lot. His eyes were red because he hadn't gotten a minute of sleep last night. He was on the phone, and if he failed, he would go bankrupt. Hello and welcome to the next episode. How to Cure Insomnia, episode 3. Now, sit down, grab some snacks, and by the way, speaking of snacks, what do you like eating when you are listening to these series? Me personally, when I'm listening to somebody on YouTube or online, like to a podcast, I like eating fruits. I like eating apples and bananas and... Whoops, just a moment. There we go. Apples, bananas, plums, all those good things. And if you have apples like this one, wherever you're at, get some of these. These are the sweetest, juiciest apples out there. They're delicious. So, enough about apples, at least for now. We'll go back to apples a little bit later. You'll see why. Now, let's get started, shall we? Previously on sleep. So last time we found about our two main characters, Somnus and Miseria. The old man, we learned his name was Somnus, the king of sleep. And we learned about Miseria, the evil character in our story, the one who causes people sleep so that she puts them in that state of anxiety and depression and despair. That's what she feeds off of, that's what gets her going in the morning, and that's what Somnus is here to help Julia with. But before we return to Julia and how she's going to fight, that's right, we're going to have a fight between Julia and Miseria this episode. But before we get to that, I want to introduce you to a new character. His name is Ron. And I want you to imagine him. Ron is sitting in his office. The walls in his office are brown. He's sitting on a brown desk with a brown carpet. And he's wearing a brown suit. His beard is brown. His hair is brown. He's just swimming in a brown environment. And he is sweating a lot because he's on the phone. And if he fails this phone call, it's gonna cost him $1 million. He's going to be bankrupt and his business is going to be destroyed. So Ron, he's a apple pie business owner. When he was younger, his grandmother, she used to bake these apple pies. Have you ever tried apple pie? I've tried it once or twice. It smells delicious and Ron loved it. In the morning he would wake up to the rich smell of baked apples that his grandma used to make. And today, just a couple years ago, his grandmother, she was on her dying bed in the hospital. And as he was holding her hand, he told her, "Granny, I'm going to take your apple pie recipe and I'm going to bring it to the world. My dream is to take that recipe, my favorite food from my childhood, and give it to the world, make it the next McDonald's, bring it to all locations in America, in Europe, in China, and just everywhere in Asia also, just all around." And his grandmother said, "Ron, if someone can do it, it is you. You can do it. Bring my recipe to the world. And those were his grandmother's last words. So now, Ron is on his journey. He's building his dream, making those apple pies, those sweet apple pie, sweet, maybe sour. I mean, just adjust things here. Whether it's sweet apple pies or sour apple pies or sweet sour apple pies, red, green, brown, all the apple colors. He wants to bring these pies to the world, to every location. And right now, Ron is speaking with a Chinese businessman who, if this deal goes through, he can finally take his apple pies to China, to a amazingly large market. But if he does not, things are going to go bad. For the last 2 months, Ron has not slept well at all. He kept waking up because he's expanding. There's a lot of stress in his life. Recently, he lost $1 million deal. So right now, if he loses this deal, he will not be able to pay his employees. He has 100 employees working for him right now, paying each one of them $10,000 a month. So that's 100 times 10,000. It's $1 million a month just for his employees. Yeah, there's a lot of money in those pies, aren't there? I agree with you. We might want to go to the apple pie business. There might be something there. But anyway, so this is kind of a big deal. If he closes it, if he wins the deal, he stands to get his business to China, to do what he promised his grandmother, that he will take his business out into the world. But if he doesn't, he won't be able to pay his employees. And if he doesn't pay his employees, then he would have to file for bankruptcy and his business would be gone. His dream would be destroyed. So he's sitting at his desk, he's on the phone, he's sweating a lot, and that is when Miseria enters the room. She is wearing her signature black shirt and it was a pink shirt. Yeah, pink shirt, black skirt, and just very formal teacher's outfit. She has these teacher's black glasses and this strict bun, tight, very tight on top of her head, and she enters Ron's room, but Ron doesn't see her. She is invisible to him, and she enters, she sits down right on his desk, she looks at him, and she starts singing. She starts singing, saying, "You are going to fail. You are failing. Your dream, your business, it's gone. This call, it is done. You will fail." And she kept on singing and singing. And Ron, as he was on the phone, he was focused, totally focused on closing this deal. But at the back of his mind, he would also hear Miseria's song. He was at the point in the call where he was asking for the money. He was the other man, the Chinese businessman, was just saying, "So, okay, this all sounds very good. How much is this going to be? How much is this?" And Ron, he stuttered. He said, $1 million. And Miseria, at that moment, she laughed. And Ron's face just went blank. Because he knew the worst thing when you are negotiating a deal is to stutter. You don't want to stutter. The last time he stuttered was in first grade when he raised his hand and said, "Miss, I need to go to the bathroom." "No, you are going to wait until the bell rings," she told him. And then he peed himself, and then he had to raise his hand again and stutter again because he had to explain what had just happened. He hadn't stuttered since then, but now he did, and his face went black. His face went white as the white flag of a military general who is raising the white flag in defeat. Miseria started laughing, and then she said, "Just a little more." She thought, "Just a little more, and I had him. Now let me just sing a verse or two, and this call, it's over." And then Miseria disappeared. Now, I want you to imagine, let me just go back to my notes real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Right, now we go back to Julia. So, it is 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the evening, Julia is sitting at her kitchen table and she is preparing to talk with Miseria. Somnus had prepared her, so she knew exactly what she needed to do, she knew exactly what she needed to say. Well, she was a little bit nervous. Right now she was going to actually meet this supernatural person that she had never met before. So her palms were sweaty, she was a little bit shaking, but she was feeling alright. She felt like she can do it. So she started summoning Miseria. "O Isis," she said, "O Isis, daughter of Nyx, anxiety, despair, depression, Miseria, I summon you." Pop! In that moment, Miseria appeared in Julia's kitchen. At first, Miseria's eyes were confused, and then they went mad. They went mad with rage. "You stupid little girl," said Miseria. "Do you know what you just did? You just cost me my victim. You are going to pay for this." Julia, she obviously got a little bit scared by those words, but Somnus, he had told Julia that this could happen, that Miseria could be working on another client, on another insomnia client or another victim. So she kept calm, she kept her cool, and she said, "Okay, I might have caused you a victim, but hey, you're here, so let's talk. I summon you to talk. Please sit down and let's drink some tea. Would you like some tea?" Miseria said, "All right, let's have some tea. This is interesting at least. Let's see what you've got. Let's see, what do you want to tell me? What do you want to talk about?" Julia poured some tea for her guest and for herself. She took the warm cup in her hands. She poured some of the hot liquid into her mouth. It calmed her down, and she started. And she said, just a moment. She looked Miseria in her eyes and she told her, "Miseria, you attacked me. You attacked my sleep. You abused me verbally. And not only that, but you also caused me my job." At all this, Miseria started smiling nicely, going back to her memories of how she caused Julia her job. Yes, she was thinking, I did that. And then Julia said, I summon you to thank you. Laughed Miseria. Thank me? Okay, the last few days were good. We have some progress here, girl. I see you are finally going insane. Julia kept her cool and she said, yes, I suppose I am going insane. And I do want to thank you because if you hadn't caused me my sleep, if you hadn't caused me to lose my job, I wouldn't be opening my business right now. Opening your business? What do you mean? Today, I was speaking with 3 more of my girlfriends, and as it turned out, they also want to go into the hair salon business. All 4 of us, we have this dream of having a hair salon of our own, but on our own, we don't have enough money. Together, however, we are strong. We have enough funds, and next week, we're going in business. We already have everything set up. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds insane. But I feel very good about this. So, thank you. Thank you, Miseria, for this. If I hadn't lost my job, I don't know how many years it would have been until I had the courage to go after my dream. Miseria's eyes, they started disappearing. As Julia, the more Julia was talking, the more passionate Julia started becoming about her dream, her eyes, you can imagine them. Imagine a picture. I don't have any pictures here, but yeah, imagine a normal... Just a moment, here we have something. Yes, imagine a painting, a person's portrait, and imagine taking a rubber, not a very clean rubber, but a dirty rubber, and starting to smudge the painting's eyes. That is how Miseria started to look right now. That's how her face looked, but Julia, she did not notice that. She was getting so passionate, so excited. She was saying also, and I'm also investing in these courses online. They're teaching me exactly how to do it, how to succeed with a hair salon business in just 6 months. And we're opening our location and we are doing this. I am building my dream. And by the way, last night, Miseria, I also slept. For the first time in the last week, I had 8 hours of restful, normal sleep. And that is how I know I am on the right track. Now, let's take a pause for a moment. Let's press the pause button, not of the video, but of the story, and go back to the original title of this episode, which was How to Cure Insomnia. What I'm gonna tell you right now, I want you to pay close attention, because if you take what I'm gonna share with you, you can cure your insomnia also. So, how do we do it? Well, here's the thing. When you put your head on the pillow, when you go to sleep, when you're someone who's struggling with insomnia, what typically happens is you start having all these negative thoughts. Am I going to fall asleep? I wanna sleep. I haven't been able to sleep for days or for nights. Come on, now I'm gonna sleep. But then it's 3 hours later and you're still not sleeping and you're thinking, I'm gonna have another restless night, more negative thoughts, and now you start feeling anxious about not sleeping. Your muscles start tensing, your stomach starts tensing, your heart starts beating faster, your breathing accelerates. What is happening? Here's what's happening. Your amygdala, the primitive center in your brain, it activates. 2 million years ago, it helped you avoid saber-toothed tigers by putting your body in ready mode, in a mode to survive, to run away from those tigers. Today, what most people don't know about the amygdala is that it does not make a difference between you fighting a saber-toothed tiger and you fighting against your insomnia. The amygdala it's like a mole. It doesn't see. It's blind. And because of that, because it is blind, because to it, fighting insomnia, fighting saber-toothed tiger is like, it's not even red apples and green apples. It's red apples, red apples. Both apples at both sides. It does not differentiate. And as a result, when you are in bed trying to block the thoughts that you're having, to block your anxious feelings, or to fight against your insomnia, the amygdala, it goes, okay, saber-toothed tiger, let's fight. Let me accelerate your heartbeat. Let me accelerate your breathing. Let me put you in a state of hyper-arousal to prepare you to fight. And do you think that it's a good idea right when you go to sleep to be in a state of hyper-arousal? It's not, of course. You want to be in a state of rest when you go to sleep. So, how do we do it? How do we cure insomnia? The best way to do it is to take that trigger, that anxiety, that what we call miseria in this series, that feeling of despair that you cannot fall asleep, and remove it. Once we remove despair from the equation, you can fall asleep. And the best way, the absolute best way I've found to do this is by you having a dream. I'm not talking about dreaming in the sleeping. I'm talking about having a vision, a mission for yourself, something that inspires you, something that instead of having knots in your stomach, you have a fire in your belly, something that inspires you. When you have that, and when you go in the world with courage, with the conviction that you have got this, that you have got what it takes to make your dream a reality, to do what you want on this planet. That is when, if you have that courage and conviction that you just got this, then misery, anxiety, depression, despair, that disappears. That disappears completely, and you can fall back to normal, restful sleep. And that is what's happening right here with Miseria and Julia. Julia is inspired. She also has the support from her friends. She knows, okay, maybe if I fail, or sometimes I know I may not be, I don't know what's the word. If I feel weak, or if I feel falling into anxiety, if I have some anxieties or fears going forward towards me opening my hair salon business, well, I have 3 more friends with me. I have people to lean onto as well. So we've got this. I have the support that I need. So that's why Julia is inspired to. That's why Julia is not just inspired, but also Miseria is starting to lose her features. So let's go back to our episode. Julia, again, she was talking passionately about the dream that she's working on right now, that she has began working on. And Miseria, she's starting to disappear. Her eyes are starting to disappear, and now, as Julia finished her story, she actually noticed Miseria's face, and she noticed that there appeared a smile on that face, and she got a little bit scared. Somnus had not told her about this. He just told her what to say, what to do, and just to have a conversation with Miseria, but he had not prepared her for this frightening look that she was looking at right now. Miseria was saying, "Ha ha ha, and what is going to happen 6 months from now, girl? What's going to happen once your business starts failing? Once my business starts failing? I don't care," said Julia. "What I know is that I want to do this. If things fail, at least I'm gonna know that I've done this, that I've done everything in my power to do this. I'm not gonna go and become 90 years old and have regret in my life. I will know that I have done everything in my power to make my dream a reality." As Julia was saying that, Miseria's features, they started disappearing more and more. And finally, with a loud sigh, Miseria said, "All right, you have won this battle, girl. But hear this, I will be back. When you least expect me, in those moments of misery, when you get those anxious feelings, when you fall into despair, I will be back. Goodbye, little girl, for now." And Miseria was gone. And then Somnus appeared once again, that old man, you remember him? That old man with the white shirt unbuttoned up to his belly button, with the black suit and the pink loafers. He appeared again in Julia's room and he said, "Julia, congratulations." He spread his arms wide, he hugged Julia. And Julia, she started crying. "We did it. I cannot believe it. We did it. We banished her. But what if she returns?" And let's pause here for a moment. Pause the story, not the video. Pause the story for a moment. So, what happens? What happens if you've been having insomnia in the past, you've had some sleepless nights, and let's say you found something that's been working, but insomnia, let's say you've had another sleepless night. How do you make sure you cure your insomnia long term? Again, one of the best ways I found to do this: take anxiety, take despair away from your life. And how do you take despair away from your life? Courage. You train your courage. You become a man or a woman of courage, having something that inspires you in your life and going with the casual belief that you have got this. You've got what it takes to do this. This is it. You go with that. Anxiety, despair, fear, it does not exist in the realm of courage. Now, press play on the story again. Somnos looked at Julia and he said, "If Miseria dares to come back again, you summon me. You say my name, you summon me, and I will come and I will help you. And by the way, you might think before summoning me in your bedroom again. You know, a guy may get an idea if you keep summoning him in your bedroom." Julia laughed and she said, "Okay, I'll keep that in mind." And now... And then Somnus gave Julia another hug, a last hug, and he was gone as well. Julia went back to her bed. She put her head on the pillow and she slept a restful sleep. That is it for this episode. Now, next episode, Miseria. She goes back to Ron and now she is angry. She just lost one of her victims of misery, Julia. And she is angry and she wants to get this. She wants to take her rage down on Ron. And she is determined to do whatever it takes to push him, to push his business to bankruptcy, to make him fail, and to make sure that he does not get any sleep. Is she going to succeed? And did Ron also close that deal that we talked about at the beginning of the episode? What happened with the Chinese businessman? Tune in our next episode to find out. Alright, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm gonna finish this video, upload it or edit it first. And if you haven't had an apple today, get yourself a red apple. These are sweet and delicious. Next episode, we'll talk more about apples, specifically about red apple pies, and see how things go there. Alright, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Let's keep going. Let's have some more fun. I'll see you soon.